Sony did announce an update today, or what is it? Did it leak or something like
Yeah,
that?
the handheld, right?
Working on a handheld.
Come on, bro.
I feel like we've talked about this a ton. Well, it was mostly because of the PlayStation Portal.
We talked
right?
about the idea of it, speculation,
yeah.
but it looks like the console handheld war is heating up because Sony's looking to get back in the game to take a
It's
hell
not
of a
heating
game.
up. They're gonna step up to the plate and get knocked out again.
Yeah.
They ain't nothing heating up. They gonna step up.
It's probably gonna be way off base if we're.
But
just...
you know what though? That handheld is probably gonna be pretty OD though. I'm not gonna lie because the Vita and the other one, the PlayStation Portable, were way ahead of its time.
Vita was the best piece of handheld tech ever, bro. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. To have an OLED screen before we even had OLED TVs, like like the Vita, like the original one. I'm not talking about the one that came out after. I'm talking about the original Vita. That thing was a beast. I'm looking
really
every time it comes up. Yeah, every time it comes up, I just look over and just reach for mine, and I'm just like, this thing is like just holding this shit feels godlike. Like, what the fuck happened? This is an OLED screen from what year? 2011? What the fuck year did this come out?
2010.
2010? Like, bruh, the Vita was ahead of its time. And they just didn't support it. That's why I can't get excited for a PlayStation handheld, because what they're gonna do is the same shit they did for the Vita. They're gonna try to market it as, oh, it can play AAA PS3 like games on the handheld, and nobody fucking wants that. I'm sorry. People can argue that all they want. Nobody wants that shit, right? If an Uncharted game, because remember, what was that game? Uncharted something, Golden something. I don't remember what the fuck it was.
Abyss, I think it was.
Yeah,
The Golden Abyss.
it was great, but then I was like, why wouldn't I just want an Uncharted 3 or a console Uncharted game? Like, nobody buys a fucking handheld for shit like that. I bought a Vita to play Persona 4 Golden, which is that was like the best game of all time. I don't give a fuck. Fucking think about it. The best games on the Vita were the Japanese, like, smaller, like, budget type games, right? It wasn't even like the AAA, the Killzone. They had a Killzone game.
Peace Walker was godlike.
Peace Walker was on PSP though.
PSP, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I'm talking about the Vita.
PSP?
Yeah, I'm talking about the Vita. Yeah.
Sorry, I confused the two.
Yeah. I mean, but even the PSP, right? Like, Peace Walker, you could tell was meant for a handheld like thing, right?
Yeah.
It even
had a
had
lot of
the
good games
cool
on the
features. It
PSP
had
as
like
well.
the ad hoc features, which was cool as fuck. Like, that game was meant for like a PSP. There were games that were meant for these shits. When you play games like Uncharted, yeah, and you use like the gyro and shit or whatever, fucking games like Killzone and Uncharted, I'm like, I could just play that on a fucking PS3 or something. But I want this downscale version of that. Give me something that feels like a good handheld game, like the majority of the Switch games, right? A lot of those games, like Octopath Traveler and a lot of 3DS games, right? That's why the Switch is so successful, because they were able to just bring a lot of those 3DS games onto the Switch, and it felt like a natural thing. Playing AAA quote unquote type games on a handheld isn't natural to me. I don't give a fuck about any of that. So, and I have a feeling they're gonna do it the same way. They're gonna market it the same way.
Yep.
And no one's gonna give a fuck. And you know who's not gonna give a fuck? Japan. Because keep in mind, when the Vita came out, that shit was a flop. Actually, so was the 3DS. It's funny how both of those things worked. They both were flops when they first came out, and then the Japanese games started coming out. Like, and then Japan loved the fucking Vita, right? Mm-hmm. And then the second version came out, and then Japan loved it even more. But like, I don't know, man. Sony just needs to focus on making the games, man. And just looking at how they're treating PS5, what the fuck are they gonna do with a handheld? Hello?
Exactly.
Like, y'all just focus on something like.
Wasting resources on a remote play.
What are we gonna get? We're gonna get another Last of Us fucking port. We're gonna get. Oh man, check it out. We're gonna have the PlayStation Portable 2 fucking Last of Us edition. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Aren't they looking for
now my heart could break.
performance?
Now my heart could break on the go, baby.
What is that for?
They're looking for it to have like PS5 performance or 2, right? Like
Man, shut the.
What?
I mean, it's
Fuck outta
like.
That'd be incredible, actually.
I mean,
Yeah, with an hour and a half battery life. Yeah.
Well, when the PSP came out, it came out before the PS3, and it had like almost. It wasn't like PS.
It had early generation PS2 graphics.
Close, yeah,
PS2
very
quality.
close to PS2 quality graphics, right? Like it couldn't like do everything the PS2 could do, but it did a lot. It went far.
Bro, just let Nintendo. Like, you lost. It's over for you, man. Just let Nintendo just be king to the fucking market, man. Just get the fuck out of here. Like, I get it. They want to solidify themselves again because the PSP was great, but even the PSP didn't sell like that. The PSP got destroyed by the fucking DS. Like, and I hate to like compare it, but that's why they ultimately just didn't care. Like, the Vita came out how many years ago? It's been over a decade. Like, and my thing is, if this is true, right, and they wanted to make this handheld, why the fuck did they release this garbage ass fucking PlayStation Portal, bro? Like, because now you're gonna have two handheld devices, quote unquote, on the market, right? If this is true, you're gonna have two handheld devices on the market. One of them, I don't know. I think that's a little weird to me. I don't know. Something doesn't seem right with this. But I guess they said AMD is working on the chipset for this thing, right?
Yeah.
So I guess AMD. I don't know. If anything, if I was AMD, I'd be like, yeah, we want to compete with it. We want to compete with Nvidia and the Switch. So make us a hand. Let's make a handheld. That could make sense. Yeah.
I think though, if they're shooting for like PS4, between PS4 PS5 quality, like it would make sense between PS4 PS5 quality, like performance.
To play
because
though?
Then you're looking at 1080p. They're not gonna go above 1080p on the screen, right?
To play what?
But that's the thing. Like, I think that's the issue, because it's the same thing. They're falling in the same trap that they did with the Vita, where it's like they're trying to provide a console-like experience, and it's like, why would you prefer to play it? Why wouldn't you just play it on your console? Like, there's a small market. You're aiming
PSP
for a small
had
market.
Ratchet and Clank smaller, like which made sense.
Yeah.
PSP had Crisis Core, which made sense. PSP had Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, which made sense. Some of these games where you could tell were structured for this thing, like Loco Roco, Godlike. I love that game. Fucking there was hella games that were on that thing. That
Patapon,
like
remember Patapon?
Fucking
that shit was
Daxter, like Daxter. Secret Agent Clank, bro. Like, come on, shit like that made sense.
Companion
I don't know, man. Exactly. That's exactly what it is, right? So, I don't know. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Okay,
games
so
tailored for a handheld experience. Sorry, go ahead, Paul.
If it's cool, I'm gonna buy it anyway, right?
I
whatever.
I just read this, just as a caveat. It's saying the handheld's meant for the PS6 family of products, so it's years out. So
makes sense. It'd be kind of stupid to put it out now, because and the Switch 2 gonna come out, and no one's gonna give a fuck about a PlayStation handheld.
I think that puts it
especially because if it's that powerful, it's gonna be like $500, $400, $600. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
the price is definitely gonna be. They're gonna miss on the price 100%.
I don't want that. The thing is, I just don't want it.
Yeah.
Like, and me personally, I've never actually wanted a PlayStation handheld. I've gotten them because there's been games on there that I like, right?
Yeah.
That I want. The Vita I ended up buying because it was literally like 3 or 4 games that I wanted, and that was it.
Yeah.
Right?
The PSP,
but then you look at the 3DS, and it's like, look at that library of games. Yeah. Look at the Switch. Like, come on. I don't know.
The PSP was something that I remember wanting off rip, and it wasn't just because of the games, right? Because upon launch they didn't have many games. I remember I played FIFA and Need for Speed Underground.
Like one of those ugly ass UMDs.
I like the idea of UMDs. Watching mostly on my PSP. What I did, I'd watch Spider-Man 2 over and over again on that UMD.
Yeah, but that was the thing. That was the Sony thing back in the day, though. Yeah. They don't do that anymore. The Sony thing was they always released a console.
That with PS2s and PS3s, right?
Yeah, the consoles were always doing things that
pushing technology.
Yeah, exactly. So nothing they do now is, well, we don't know, right? But as far as I can see, nothing they do now is going to be revolutionary
or innovative.
Like, especially like, I don't fucking know. The only thing that would have been cool to me, which is why I brought up the PlayStation Portal, is because if you're going to release a new handheld, what the fuck is the point of this? The fucking new PSP should do what the Portal does, plus play games. Like,
no.
So, absolutely. I don't know. What the fuck, bro? Yeah, it should be able to stream PS5 games and play games. So why put the Portal up? Stupid.
Well, they wanted to put the Portal out now. I think this is something that's going to be
stupid.
I think if they're announcing it, it's definitely like something that they're just like, it's in development and we're not going to see it for years.
Especially and by the time we're in an era where games are so expensive, people getting laid off all over the place. The only people that's getting away with, the only place you're getting away with making games like that is on a Switch or on PC.
Yep.
Like, I don't know, man. That's a very weird decision, but Sony's been making very weird decisions lately anyway. But if it's years, if we don't know what things are going to be like by the PS6 generation, so who knows? We have zero idea what to expect.
May be good. It may drop at a good price point. It may be shit. Sometimes it might be good. Might be shit.
I just know if I was Sony, bro, I would look at Nintendo's dominance on the market and not want to get in there. Like, I would just stick to what I do well, like, which is making good AAA first party games. Which, like, come on, man, they could be doing a little bit more of right now.
You think the success of the Steam Deck had something to do?
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone's gonna try to do this now.
Of course.
Like, of course. Like, I think the success of the Steam Deck is probably what's pressuring Nintendo to make an actual competent fucking console next time.
Yeah.
So
it's a lot of the hubris from Sony, where it's like, you know, if they're doing this, how come we
Yep.
can't? You know what I mean? And then they get themselves.
The thing is, they absolutely can, but they don't have the track record. Like,
yeah, but they also half-ass it.
Yeah, they absolutely can.
Then they pull off, because then what ends up happening is then they want to have exclusive game titles for the handheld device, and they split the development teams of like Guerrilla Games, like Insomniac, and they'll split those teams that are working on already established titles and bangers that you know are going to be hits on your console, and you're splitting them to work on your handheld, and you're delaying everything, and you're
I think that's fine, because that's what Nintendo did.
Right.
But the thing is, like, they did it right. Right, so they can just do it correctly, because that's all Nintendo did. That's why it was probably a no-brainer to make the switch, because they could just consolidate all that shit into one thing.
Yeah,
like, so I don't know.
They're already kings at that, and you could see
it with every
making a handheld Nintendo release.
It feels like making a dedicated handheld is like going backwards, because Nintendo already went forward by just combining everything into one. Why would you want to split everything again by making a dedicated handheld? What the fuck? That doesn't make any sense. What the fuck? Sony doesn't make any sense to me anyway.
You look at the games that dropped on the Switch too when it first came out, right? With like Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey. These were like experiences where people were just like, oh wow, like this is possible. They actually did it. And then now you're looking at Super Mario Wonder and Tears of the Kingdom, and they're like, what kind of black magic did they pull to improve upon those games which are already pushing the Switch to its limits, right? Like, these are fantastic games.
That's what happens when you commit to something and actually fucking care about your shit.
2 honey packets, 2 solid games that were in the Game of the Year nominees. Tears of the Kingdom.
All Sony cares about is making fucking media franchises. They would have make fucking Last of Us, TV show, Last of Us. Where's the movie? Last of Us 80 billion remakes.
Yeah, I think we're getting Last of Us handheld
of games that came out not that long ago, by the way.
We're getting the Last of Us collection with this handheld.
Blow me.
No, come on, bro.
Blow me.
I wonder if the Korean streamer will cut his PlayStation handheld in half.
I would. I would buy one just to throw it out a fucking window and record that shit and put it on fucking.
Can you please do that? Can you please do that?
Because if that's what they do, if they launch this thing with like some Last of Us bullshit or some Uncharted bullshit, I'm buying it. I'm gonna be like, y'all motherfuckers is garbage. This shit is not gonna sell. like that shit is so lame to me. I think the concept of we can play AAA games on there. I think that shit is garbage. Like, even me, like, I'd buy a Stream Deck not to play motherfucking God of War and fucking Dragon's Dogma and any AAA game, like, you know, recent AAA game, Horizon Zero Dawn, all that shit. I'm not buying that shit to play that.
Nope.
I'm buying that shit to play shit like Hades or motherfucking an old Final Fantasy game or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you know, I agree with you, because I remember when I had like the GBA and other handheld stuff. Like, the reason I played those games was for the games they don't no longer make currently. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
those
like,
games
I wasn't playing.
I kind of like.
There was
like
hella
2D
Killzone games
that I kind of like. You know, like there was so many good games.
I think there was like a SOCOM game, or there was hella Killzone games on the PSP. I think there was like there were a lot of those, like they tried to make like AAA games, and those are not the games that I bought. I did not want those. I wanted like the little spin-offs, the little, you know, Secret Agent Clank, Daxter, Crisis Core, whatever. the little tiny like Loco Roco. I wanted shit like that. I didn't give a fuck about playing. I could go turn on my PS2 or PS3 to play shit like that. But whatever, man.
Like I think that's what
I know there's a market for it.
Yeah,
I know there's people that are probably like, well, I want to play fucking The Last of Us. Well, I don't give a fuck.
Well, like I'll give you an example, right? Because I had a Steam Deck, right, and I barely use it, right? But I barely use it because the time that I do have to sit down and game, I could just sit down in front of my PC or on my PlayStation.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the only reason why. But I tell you what, I went traveling, and back in September, I went traveling, and it was literally like the best thing to travel with. So there is a market for it. It's just so niche, right? Like, cause I played the shit out of Armored Core 4
if I'm
on
traveling,
the Steam Deck. But once I got back to my PC, I was playing at 120 FPS, not 60 on the Steam Deck. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't be able to do that because I'd be more concerned about battery life. Because it's like,
I was just sitting next to a wall charger the whole time. You know, it depends, right?
Yeah,
like, it depends.
But at that point, well, yeah, if you're traveling, yeah. But at that point, if you're connected to the wall, you might as well just fucking like, I don't know.
Yeah, but I wasn't home. I was out.
Yeah, exactly. So that's like that niche situation.
I didn't have my computer with me. That's what it is. It's a single situation, but that's the niche. There's people who travel a lot where all they have are laptops and handhelds, and I understand that. But like, if that's your sales market pitch, you know, like
sure, that's not it.
That's not it. That's not a majority of people, though. You know. But I mean, hey, like it depends. I think I honestly agree with both of
people
you guys.
think the Switch sold
individual
because
games for it, right?
People think the Switch sold well because it's a console fucking handheld hybrid. No, it did not. It's so well because the fucking library is amazing. Fuck out of here. Nobody gives a fuck about it being handheld. It's sold because the library is good.
Especially since like it was because of the Switch that they got third-party support back.
Yeah,
you know, so
the Wii U and the massive failure of that shit.
Yeah, don't nobody give a fuck about no handheld. Like, don't admit, yes, people do care. Like, obviously, I've owned every Nintendo handheld. I owned the PSP, Vita, all that shit. I had a motherfucking Game Gear back in the day. Rest in peace. Like
that 6AA battery.
Yeah, 6AA batteries. Yeah, it was amazing.
Processing
literally lasted 2 fucking hours. Like. Like I like handheld games, but like in this day and age, that's a hard sell, man. Especially when we got phones that's probably gonna be more powerful than the shit anyway. Like
$1,000 handheld phone devices. That
right.
Already with OLEDs.
Yeah, exactly.
That are just pushing it, you know.
That's why I'm a little bit disappointed to hear that the Switch might be an LCD screen, but I expected that. Like, it's not like I didn't expect it. But whatever.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna release the LCDs and then they're gonna release the OLEDs and then
and I'm gonna buy both like an idiot.
They did get exactly. Got them.
Excellent.
I think that thing is a mistake to drop the Switch 2 for $400 without an OLED. Though.
Without an OLED, yeah, I think that's ridiculous.
At that price point, without an OLED, oh man, they better have that upgrade quickly.
But you know what? That's why they got Mario Kart 9.
they got the bullets in the chamber, and like we can't say anything about.
They're not launching with Mario Kart 9.
Oh! Metroid Prime 4.
That makes sense.
Mario?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
Look, either one of those it's gonna be a wrap.
If they launch with Mario Kart, I'm gone. If that shit launches with Mario Kart, bro,
we're cooked.
If that shit launches with Mario Kart, bro, oh my god. There's literally no hesitation. That's just a day one buy. Like hour one pre-ordering instantly. If there's a Mario Kart at launch.
We're not even gonna be able to buy it because it's gonna get bought.
No, I'm gonna have a bot then. I'm gonna make sure I get a bot.
Waiting in line at the Nintendo store in despair.
Hell nah. I'm usually pretty good at getting the console when they come out. Fuck a bot. If it's a Mario Kart, I'm gonna have a bot.
Terrible experience.
Like, I'm gonna be one of the bots. Yo, man, why can't I get a Switch? I'm gonna be snickered in the corner.
Yep.
Fuck out of here.
You want this Switch too, baby?
But yo, I got one. I'll sell you one for $800.
$1,500.
Be a fucking scalper.
Yeah, exactly.
Not play with me.
Scalping and waiting in line, making sure you get your product.
A motherfucking Mario Kart, bro.
Getting cooked.
Come on, bro. You know it's coming. It's either that or new Mario game, or
it's definitely gonna be a new Mario game. Definitely new Mario game. At least if it's not at launch, it's definitely gonna be within that year, and we definitely gonna get fucking Metroid Prime 4 has no choice but to launch with this thing. Because what the fuck else? What the fuck else are they waiting for? Like,
exactly.
What we don't realize, or what most people don't, we realize it. What most people don't realize is that Nintendo already has us all held hostage, and we're gonna have to do what they say. And so they just got.
Oh, Nintendo's had my fucking dick in a vice grip for like my entire life.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they've been clinching my balls for like what, 1990 something.
Yeah, the Spear hasn't learned how to walk right since.
Yeah.
May as well call Nintendo sex
I'll be limping all over the place. What?
But you know who won't clinch your balls or will never hurt you? This podcast. So do us a favor.
I don't know about that.
Hit us with a like. If you're special and we get a Patreon, there'll be a special tier where Despair can put your balls in a vice grip. But join us. Hit that like. Join us on iTunes. Join us on TikTok. Join us on Spotify. Google Podcasts is leaving. Who cares? Nobody listens to Google Podcasts anyway. But we got iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. Listen to us in any which way. But most importantly, just listen, subscribe, join up, and we'll catch you all next week for more gaming news, more tech, more whatever you guys want to talk about.
Rest in peace to Vita, man.
Rest in peace to Vita. I'm signing off with
Rest in peace to Vita.